I want to talk about not feeling desired by your partner today. This is, like most things, not always black and white. There are nuances to almost everything. But if you're listening to this, I encourage you to just be open minded. If this is activating quite a strong response in you, negative or positive, I suspect it's because there is probably some truth in what I'm about to share. You might have resistance. You might want to push back against what I'm sharing. That's your right. But I do encourage you to be open minded. So, the thing I have found with quote unquote traditional relationship therapists, counselors, whatever, is that generally their approaches are almost like band-aid fixes because it's just sort of addressing the surface level issue, not the core issue. I have come to realize what I'm about to share from personal experience, but also what I have witnessed in supporting clients, especially clients that don't feel deeply desired by their partner, whether that's through like the physical intimacy or maybe they don't feel like their partner compliments them very much, whatever it is. And I want to give you a different perspective that maybe it's actually less about him and more about you. I've spoken about this before that the external world is often just a mirror of our internal world. And I spent a very long time wanting my partner to be more physically intimate in public, for example. He would say to me, I just don't do PDA. And I was like, I don't get that, but okay. I didn't want to accept that. And maybe, now that I'm thinking about it, it could be because on some level there was a part of me that knew that that wasn't actually the case. And I'm going to tell you why. So, for the last couple months, I have been working my ass off at the gym and being really intentional about what I'm eating. I have battled with body issues, body confidence for years and years and years and years and years. It's actually all I've really known. I watched my mum do it, so I've done it. And I have also watched my mum be self-sacrificing and people please and place herself last. So I've done the same thing. I haven't had a great role model in that sense. And we often do what our parents do. Not always, but that can be the case. So I've just picked up and I'm just mirroring what my mum did. And I have been doing this like quote unquote self-development work for like 7, 8 years now. And it's only been in the last few months that it's finally really clicked for me that I haven't been choosing myself. I haven't even been feeling particularly sexy or truly confident in my body. There have been moments or small seasons where I have, but then I've usually like fucked it up and sabotaged it, or I've stopped doing the things that were actually supporting me to feel really good in myself. Did I do this consciously? Not usually. But the more that I have built my physical strength, and I am noticing a difference in the mirror. And it's interesting because it's a little bit of what I see in the mirror that makes me feel better, but it's what that represents for me. For me, it represents kindness to myself. It represents breaking a cycle I never thought that I would be able to break, which is yo-yoing with my weight. And I was at a weight for like 3 years that I just couldn't seem to get below. And I had actually convinced myself that there was no way I could lose weight again. Even though after my other two pregnancies, I lost the 30 kilos I gained. But this time around, I mean, my youngest now is four and a bit, and I gained 30 kilos as well. But I'd only lost 15, 20 kilos. And I was just at this one weight. And so I'd convinced myself. I really believed I couldn't get below that. And I have now. And so that has shown me so many things. One of them being that I am not a fixed state, that my limiting beliefs have power and I can change those beliefs from limiting to empowering. But it does mean getting a bit uncomfortable. And coming back to this like PDA business with my partner, I was like, why don't you just show me affection in public? It makes me feel so good. It makes me feel like you want me. It makes people realize that I'm off limits, and because I have this wounding of being cheated on from my past relationship. To me, it was him telling all the other women, no, I am taken. And by him not giving me the PDA, my little child, my inner child was like, oh my God, he doesn't love me. He's going to cheat on me. He's going to abandon me. So the reason that I was craving this PDA so much was actually just coming from my wounding. But in my brain, it was really just looking like, well, other people do it. Why can't you do it? I don't think I'm asking much of you. Why is it such a big deal? But it wasn't actually about him because all of a sudden, in the last month or so, he has been so publicly affectionate to me. It's actually wild. He has been complimenting me so much more than I think he ever has. And it's because I am feeling so much better in my body. I'm looking in the mirror going, damn, like I'm still curvy. I'm not as thin as I have been, and it doesn't even matter. I'm just like, look at the hard work you're putting in mentally, physically, emotionally. Look at you showing up for yourself, Paige, and not shaming yourself into trying to lose weight. To be fair, it hasn't always been a perfect journey. There have been moments where that's crept in because that has been so familiar and habitual. But generally, I am making more effort in what I'm wearing. I'm wearing clothes that make me feel sexy. Dyeing my hair pink has also been game changing. It's my favorite. So, what I am trying to emphasize is that if you are listening to this and you are one of those people that's like, I just want him to desire me more, to instigate more intimacy, I would encourage you to look at potentially why aren't you receiving that? What is it inside of you that is not allowing yourself to receive that? Why don't you believe you're worthy of that? Was it something your dad did or said, or your mum, or a past relationship? Why don't you believe you are deserving of receiving more? And or maybe you need to ask for it and communicate better. That's also possible. Maybe that's all you need to do is to tell him, be really specific about what you want more of. I have told my partner time and time and time and time again, just hold my face. I don't know what it is for me. There's something about it that it's just so soothing for my nervous system, makes me feel so safe. And I just wanted him to do it. I wanted him to do it when I was crying and sad and heartbroken, but I also see that that was my way of wanting him to fix me and kind of rescue me and make me feel better. And I was dependent on that. That's not to say that he can't support me to feel better. But when you're dependent and relying on something to make you feel whole, full, more attractive, more lovable, if you're relying on something external to do that, you will be let down. And it can also be a protective mechanism, having those high standards as a way to feel in control and protect yourself from being let down by other people, for example. So, why? Are you insecure in your body? Do you actually not want to be touched? Maybe you're like, oh, if he touched me more, I would feel more attractive to him. It's not about him. Do you feel attractive to you? Truly, truly. Because I can, and I have always come across quite confident, no matter what size I've been. But in here, I was like, oh, underneath these clothes, I'm disgusting. I don't like what I see. I feel very uncomfortable in my body. So maybe it's that. realistically, it could be 100 different things. But at the core, there's usually a same kind of fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, fear that I'm too much, that I'm not enough. And these core wounds are often driving our thoughts and our behaviors, and thus what we are attracting or repelling in the real world. So as I have changed in here, in my body, my partner is automatically changing. And the irony is that yes, I have been asking for this, but I haven't asked for quite some time. I haven't even brought up the PDA situation. And I asked him the other week, I was like, why are you suddenly giving me so much PDA? And he's like, I don't know. Oh, because you've been asking for it. I'm like, I've been asking for years. So what's changed? Me. And like I said before, maybe what needs to change is you asking for it, because that's you affirming to your subconscious that you are actually worthy of receiving that. Maybe your partner tries and you unconsciously or consciously reject it because it's not the way you want it to look, or it's not enough, or whatever it might be. We are more often than not getting in the damn way. Where are you getting in the damn way without even realizing it? Now, is it always this black and white? No way. Maybe it's a him thing, but maybe it's not. And it is more about you. Yeah, maybe he's depressed. Maybe he tends to be avoidant, whatever. Stop worrying about him. You can't change him. You can't control him. The only thing you really have control over is what you do with the circumstances you have lived through and the circumstances you will continue to, find yourself in the future. It's about how you respond to those experiences that will determine how you feel, how you show up in life, in your relationship. That's all you really have control over. So you can make the most of any given situation, past, present, future, or you can be a victim to it. I know what I'm choosing. I'm choosing to lean into discomfort and look at myself, take a good hard look at myself in the mirror, and getting really radically honest with myself. What is this situation showing me? How is it supporting me to grow, to learn more about myself, to show up as a better person? How can I learn from my mistakes? And how can I look at this situation that I keep getting tripped up over in my relationship? How is it reflecting something back to me so I can get curious? And maybe I get to make some changes, think some new thoughts, shift my mindset or my perspective. What is it that you need to start experiencing a different reality for yourself? That is it for today's episode. If you loved what you heard, if this resonated, if you haven't yet, please subscribe, support my podcast so that more people can hear it. And I will see you in next week's episode. Ciao.